It's 7 o'clock. We'll call the public hearing on the water and sewer rate changes to order. Roll call. Chisman.
Present.
Benge. Smith.
Present.
VanDorin.
Present.
Cope.
Present.
Okay, we have in front of us, before us, the proposed increase in rates that Ina has prepared for us. This is quite a jump. I know when you figure in the $15 for garbage, we're looking at 15, that's 30, 51, about $61 minimums, but that's your water, sewer, and garbage. That's all of it. I know like in the country, I received, like when we were discussing this, somebody listened to the meeting. I know they were like $40, all they got was water, and that was 2,000 gallons of water. So, I mean, this is your first 1,000, and then the minimums, I mean, you know, it does go up and increase with each 1,000 gallons. They've been neglected for quite some time. When I sat on the council in 2010 or 2011, I know we raised rates for the first time in quite some time then, and we left a provision that you could raise them 5% a year to try to help offset a big jump like this. That got neglected and it just didn't happen, which is what it boils down to. Then the city had the sewer work done, signed 2 agreements, a 3rd agreement. I had to sign the final one here, so 3 different mayors have signed agreements that say we'll put back 110% and be sitting on a payment. So this is why these jumps need to be. I guess I'm in favor of it. Do I need to read this in its entirety?
Either here or the other part, but probably a good time here so they know.
Okay, we'll go ahead and I'll read this so everybody out here knows it and all the council members understand what we're dealing with here as well. Amendment of the ordinances, Title 7, 716.2 Water Rates and Service, Title 7, 714.2 Sewer Rental. A public hearing will be held on November 13, 2018 at Blakesburg City Hall, 7 p.m. to review the proposed amendment to the ordinances for water and sewer rates. Current rate for water, $16 for the first 1,000 gallons, $5.95 for each additional 1,000 gallons. Proposed change, Title 7-16-2 Rates and Service. Water service shall be furnished at the following monthly rates within the city. Code of Iowa 384.841. First 1,000 gallons used per month, $21.24. That's the minimum bill. For every 1,000 gallons over the minimum used per month, $9.95 per 1,000 gallons. The current sewer rate, $10.08 for the first 1,000 gallons, $3.97 for each additional 1,000 gallons. Proposed change, Title 7, 714.2. Each contributor shall pay a sewer service charge for use of and for the service supplied by the municipal sanitary sewer system based upon the amount and rate of water consumed as follows. First 1,000 gallons or lesser amount per month, $14.87 per month plus $10.65 sewer fee. For every 1,000 gallons over the minimum, $6.97 per 1,000 gallons plus an additional $1 fee, sewer fee per 1,000 gallons. The requirement of a 2nd and 3rd readings of these ordinances may be waived. So that's where we stand. Discussion, objections.
On discussion, I know the article's in there. I haven't been able to, and really, I'll be honest, I haven't spent much time on it. There was water supposedly taken, nothing wrong with that. There was money taken from the water sewer fund on McGuire Iron Works. 2013 was it? I don't know, 2012, I'm sorry, 2012. I'm not sure it was ever put back in the water sewer fund, so, you know, I don't know on that. Colorinda's muffiners. Somebody could show me how to lay $3,000 back a month without doing this. I'm open to talk.
I hope, I realize this is staff, and like I've said before, none of us enjoy doing it, but I'm hoping that we can, as well as pay our obligations that we're required to by law, that we can set up a fund for emergencies, all the things. We have an old system, both systems are old, and not be tempted to use this money for other things and You know, we've got, our lines are old, just an awful lot of things. So if something does happen, we're not in a quandary and have to go borrow money to repair it. And as near as I can tell, we've probably never done that here, have we?
Had a reserve of any kind?
I was told, I don't know, at one time there's reserve money back, whether it's for water or not, I don't know, but there's reserve money. And I'm in agreement with that.
And I've been negligent not checking into it, and if somebody else wants to, but we probably need to get some information on what we need to do with our tower. Because I'm guessing we need to have a maintenance contract with somebody to, and there, I don't know whether there's things that are legally required, you know, government regulations, or whether just prudent maintenance, but we don't want to let that thing.
I know when the DNR guy was down last week, best of my knowledge, he was more than happy with the tower. But there, you know,
We need to be on top of what needs to occur to keep it up in shape, so. There's plenty of places we can use this
just
money.
infrastructure is, you spend a lot of time too. I'm online a lot. Infrastructure is just costing so much and it's getting so old. And Clarinda's taken a pretty good rate increase. I can't think of a city that I'm aware of that's not raising sewer and water rates just because of infrastructure, if nothing else.
Our total, go ahead, Jerry.
Are we being, when I got voted on here, you know, we kind of wanted to save the town. It's not going to be a one-year deal. I think there should have been a raise around 2013, should have been a raise around 2016, then we had the sewers relined, so there has to be a raise now. But in my notion, I think we just got that passed in this vote, you know, local option sales tax. We're making things happen. We're not going to save and have an abundance of money very soon, if we ever do, because when this town had dealerships and stuff here is when they should have had abundance of money. There's nothing here now but people living here. I don't know that I don't want to be a huge burden on every family in the town, and I think I'd have, you know, I'd love to just raise this and say that's the way it's going to be, but I think it's too much in 1 year. There's nothing to say like in 2010 when you did it, you can do it every year. If you have decent people in here, you can raise it every year. Smaller raises. I realize we're still making up for almost 10 years, but I just don't, you know, I don't believe I can honestly vote. I think it seems too high for me, and I'm not sure the $1 sewer fee, I'm not quite sure what that is, why that isn't just added into the $697. What was
Oh, the
it?
1065 sewer fee.
No, and then the extra dollar added on for every 1,000 gallons after that, that's included onto that.
Yeah.
What was that for, that extra?
That just,
There were some complaints that the sewer fee was unfair because it didn't account for different usage of water. You know, we didn't want to put a lot on, so we just put $1 more for each extra 1,000.
each the extra 1,000 gallons to go on with the 1065. So if you use 2,000, it'd be 1165. 3,000 would be 1265, and so on and so forth on that
Yeah,
fee,
yeah.
along with the 697 per extra 1,000 gallons.
But that said, I mean, that's my opinion. I don't think, can some people afford it in town? Yeah. Can everybody afford it in town? I'm not too sure.
So would you propose coming back with different rates and maybe leaving room for incremental increase yearly on top of that, or is that something that we're looking at?
You know, we talked about, you know, rural water really can't give us any idea because things have been so screwed up. There's not been any records or whatever for the last few years. I know, you know, we wanted to do something now, but
if we don't do anything, I'll ask the city clerk, if we don't do anything tonight, and I'm pretty sure we're doing it now, on the current race we've got, and I'm hanging in on this, I've been ever since it started, will we have the money to meet our obligations as per the contract signed with the Iowa Finance Authority to lay 110% of that loan payment back each year and be able to fix something if it breaks? And if not, I'm gonna have to vote for this.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter to me, it still goes up to a vote either way.
Yeah,
Right.
but that loan is, we gotta knock that loan off. I mean, it's been, I'm amazed. I mean, there's, well, two mayors signed it, that they lay that money back. I'm not throwing rocks at anybody, it just didn't get done. They didn't draw any money into the damn water fund.
Yeah.
So
that's
I don't like doing this.
It's got not a whole lot to do with us, it's already done, we just have to live with it.
Uh,
If you wanna get it faster, then.
No, I just wanna meet the obligation where we're supposed to lay, as per contract, we lay 110% of the payment each year back per month to make the payment. And that's just the way it reads in the contract we signed.
Our payment due December 1 is $3,603.44 on the sewer, the loan. And then we have the other payment of roughly
Around 36,000.
36.
Okay, I always figured 36, 38 a year is where I figured. So that's running around, we gotta lay about $3,000 a month back, or a little more.
Currently, I'm setting back 3,600 each month. It's gonna not be the 110% of the whole thing. Right now, I'm just doing 110% for this year. If
Because-
we have other emergencies during the year or anything, I'm not sure that we can continue to do that.
Did we-
Expenses go up.
Have you signed that paper?
I had to sign it for us to close the loan out. That was because they paid us everything they were paying us. I had to sign it saying that the loan was closed. We couldn't borrow any more on that. We couldn't draw any more on that.
Couldn't draw any more money on it.
So that was,
Excuse me, was that because we finally got that road thing?
that was because we got everything finished. Everything was finished, the
So-
project was
Probably know
finished.
my opinion on that, and I won't go into it here in the meeting.
Yeah, but
You know, I wish I was more persuasive, I guess, in my.
Well,
I have a question.
Yep.
How much is this actually raising the bills? I mean, we're saying we're raising it, but per 1,000 gallons, what's this raising?
Your minimum on water, right now on water, you pay $16. So it's raising, your water side would be $5.24. Your sewer side, it is raising it,
On two people, I figured $420 a year on our bill alone, for just two people. A lot of
$4.81.
people won't use quite that much water.
you know, working minimums, what was it, a little under 10, I think. I wish I wrote it down in the opinion, I added it up.
So that is, the minimums are raised, the minimums go up $5.24 on water and $4.81 on sewer. So basically $10 is what the minimums are going up, according to this.
About,
Plus,
yeah, about double, I mean,
but plus the extra 2,000 gallons.
Yeah,
I
you
use
can
3,000.
And that's what I use too, right? So like if it's me, I'm using closer to 3,500. I mean, I'd be getting hit.
Now you're looking for, on water, you're looking at, if you're using 3,000 gallons, am I figuring that right, $9.95, it's going up $5. $5 a thousand, another $10 on top of that.
On top of that.
$5 each thousand, I guess, on water.
But then it's going up on sewer too for that.
On sewer.
So another $10.
Yeah.
it, you know, just my saying, and I know I sat here a month ago or whatever, 2 months ago. I wasn't here at the last meeting, but, you know, I don't have the answer. I know
And when we discussed it, we had to.
this looks good, but there are options, and when this is said and done, when the vote went our way, I just think there's, I don't know, it looks pretty steep to me. We got the people to vote how we needed them to vote.
I can throw the BS out, and I've said it before, there's nothing in the world at a later date, if we're doing all
Well,
right,
that's-
to cut them.
See, we said that too, and there's nothing to say.
That's not
We
saying
don't
we
raise
would.
them in another year too. I mean,
Well, we might have to. I got no idea. I mean, you know, that's the thing.
All right, okay. Kim?
Well, just a quick question, because I was trying to, from what was in his packet, just trying to figure out kind of a rough idea what our bill would actually go to. So like, right now we're paying about $72 to $75 a month. So, and maybe I was reading it wrong, because yeah, I was even confused about the whole and dollar part.
Well, you just raised that to $7.97.
So I was thinking our bill would go up about $30 a month. Is that wrong? Or is that pretty much
Well,
$30 to
if you
$35 a
I'd have
month?
to, we can calculate it up. Now, when I'm playing insurance agent like I used to and doing numbers, we're talking water and sewer. A lot of people, when they say water bill, they count the garbage. So that's, I don't even know how much it is. I'm sure I
But I mean,
changed
that's
garbage
not,
in. So-
yeah,
Yeah.
that wouldn't have changed in
And I know we raised that,
in
but
my, from what I paid
So-
last month. So,
Just depends on how many gallons it is over.
Yeah.
so I mean, typically, yeah, we're like 2,800 to 3,000 gallons.
And
Okay, if you're going-
that's where I'm at, usually
if you're going
2,000,
2,000 over,
25.
10 bucks more on water on 2,000 over, right? Plus another, what is it, what'd you say, 524? Yeah, I think that's right.
$5.95
Yeah.
for water.
Yeah, that's the current rates. Okay, right now, who's got a calculator? Right now, it's $16 for the first 1,000 and $5.95 for each. So what we're basically doing, it looks like we're gonna charge $21.24 instead of 16. That's $16 away from $21.24, since I'm old.
6167 would be the bare minimum of 1,000 gallons or less.
Okay.
And that's water, trash, sewer. Okay, that's all of
That's
it.
water trash sewer.
So then if you figure in an extra,
The water be 10 bucks on 2,000
on
more.
2,000
That's
gallons
easy.
would be 10, so that
Wouldn't be
gets you
the
to
sewer.
71. And the sewer gets you another $8. So,
Right now I pay around.
995 per thousand, that's 20 bucks.
that's 20 bucks on 2,000, yep, so that gets you to 81.76, then plus another 16 for, you're looking at 96 for 3,000 gallons, that'd be your minimum.
So you're talking almost $100 a month.
Yep. Yep, if you're using 3,000 gallons, you're looking at basically $100 a month.
What's 3,000 now?
3,000 now would be,
60-some.
So, oh, yeah, you're not.
with your trash included, about 70, you said 75, 80 bucks is what it normally is there.
Between 65 and 70 something.
I know our last one, it was 2,800 gallon and my bill was 71.20, I believe.
Yeah, and that's 2,800, so yeah, we're looking
Yeah.
at,
That's garbage included. I mean,
Yeah.
that, I just consider it my bill.
right.
Yeah.
Judy, you have anything to say here and
No,
add? I mean,
I was
that's
gonna say, mine generally runs around $52, so I'm assuming that's
about,
right
that's
at
the
the
minimum.
minimum.
Yeah.
That's what I was figuring, and for
Here we
one,
say
you know.
again, I'm gonna sound like Parker, no
Right.
public. Tonight of all nights, I'd like 20 people out there,
Yeah.
just tell me what to do, please.
Because I think you guys are gonna get a lot of questions.
I think we're gonna get questions after the
After
fact.
the bill's
Right.
gone out, yeah.
I mean, there's been
Yeah.
a lot, we've been discussing this since February, March, and nobody's really showed much of an interest.
I wanted to do it 6 months ago.
I mean, I agree that we need to do something, I really do. I've been in business too, I know what it is.
We're losing
You've got to be able to
population.
pay your bills and your obligations. So, you know, I'm not denying at all that we need to raise it.
Another way to look at it, if you enjoy living in a small place, it's not congested, we're probably gonna have to pay to keep these things operating, so we can do that. If you
Well,
want
we need to weed this down,
Yeah,
from
man,
drugs and druggy people.
And not really passing the buck, but it got a lot of press. It's just not here. Des Moines, just on treating the nitrates, I don't know what they're gonna do as far as bills go. And then I hate to say it, you know, I'm a public radio guy, you listen to it too. 4 or 5 years ago, I heard a guy in Washington DC that run the waterworks, and he said, look, he said, I'm not telling people what to do, but he said it may come to the point you don't watch HBO so you can have water. And you see, then he was talking about how bad their infrastructure was. He said, hell, we got lines in here that go back to the 1860s. And he said, we gotta get them fixed.
Well, I would guess we got
So-
quite a few people in town who don't watch HBO.
Yeah, probably.
And I mean, I do feel like I've got the benefit of, I've lived here pretty much my whole life. So I reap the benefits of a $32 water bill for a long time.
Right.
You know, the people newer to town, sorry, Asa, you didn't reap that. When we could have been paying this, I guess, prior.
I just think it's a lot,
I think it'll be a
in a
sticker
10-year
shock.
jump, I
but-
think it's a lot.
It'd definitely be a sticker shock. And that's what the incremental, had it have been incremental like we would hope and like the plan was kind of set in place. And I brought that up to people that had been up here in the past. I said, why didn't we incrementally raise it like that? And my answer was, well, it wasn't gonna be enough. So the option that they chose was to do absolutely nothing
There was
instead
no
of.
leadership period.
That's
Well,
what-
that's what never happened.
At least we're sitting here talking about it, and you're the guy that really comes to mind. You remember when the water bills were eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and they wrote a number down? Yeah. I'm not going back to that.
Okay,
Plus, we have inflation, it's just a fact of life, everything is going up.
Well, you don't go 10 years without making a
Yeah,
change.
but I mean,
It's,
we're gonna run into the same thing's gonna bite us again, I mean,
Oh, hell no, we told us it
some
was
point
easy.
in time,
So, have we kind of estimated how much more money this will bring to the city from what our current water intake is now?
Of everything
Are we looking at, like,
together, I
40 some
did a rough
thousand?
estimate of 30,000, which is, we need that much or more for our payment and for those repairs that we have to set back. Also, part of the reason the sewer went up that much is the code also has in it that we have to have 70% of the water as our sewer, and it hasn't been that in the past. So
your
I
sewer
said-
rate has to be
I
70%
said it
of
was
the,
70% when I
so,
counted.
so we,
yeah, with that 70%.
I think it's just take it to a vote then.
And I'm not-
That comes later, we just got to close the hearing and then we'll get to it though, and then you guys got a little more time to mull it over while we do some other stuff.
Well, I think it's a done deal.
Uh,
Everybody knows the ins
Can
and
I
outs.
just,
and-
maybe one suggestion?
Yeah, one more thing, yeah, absolutely,
Sorry,
before we
since
close
nobody's here
it.
to really
Yeah.
beat up the floor time.
Yep. You're fine, you're fine, yep.
It is gonna be sticker shock, and I guess even though I've kind of known what's going on a little bit with the city, I think that your letter that went out was a good thing. So
Very
if
good.
maybe as mayor, you could do that again, talking about the water stuff, that would
Quarterly or every so often, yeah.
probably be very helpful.
That letter, and that's what I put on there, that it was paid for by me. The city couldn't in any way endorse or encourage, I mean, I think I did in some meetings, possibly.
No,
I
you
paid myself, but, yeah, well, I'm gonna
The
talk
city
about that here in a little
couldn't.
bit. But as far as the water rates go, but yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I need to do more letters, but we can send them out with water bills and whatever.
Asa was just talking about it
Yeah,
earlier
I was
tonight.
talking
Let's get things figured out, so we've got a really good, call it a website, really good city website, Facebook. I'd like to have a city
I
website.
think,
And
Oh, I agree.
let's start
Video
getting
on
some of this stuff
YouTube.
out.
for the
Local option.
local option thing, but we didn't post it to Facebook, to the Blakesburg city.
And we couldn't, because that was our city page and the city could not endorse that. That was just me on my own doing that. And that was-
That's why we didn't film it over
That's why we
there.
didn't film it right here and we filmed it elsewhere, yeah.
But we could be updating people.
Right,
Right.
right.
I mean, this,
Yeah.
I'm doing
Yeah,
one
and he was even
letting
mentioning-
them know of the increase before it shows up on their bill, so it won't just.
this could have went out on Facebook.
Yeah, we could have done it, but again, I mean, you know, we had the special session, we had last month, and we've been talking about it since we got elected in January, a lot of us, so. Again, I mean, like I said, the things that you think would really matter to people and get them out and get here, don't, and then something so simple as,
It's as simple as people don't watch this.
No.
Have you seen these people? They don't watch this stuff.
They will look on Facebook.
And if they would, it's fun. I love the emergency management meetings, man. I get to watch the
They don't
drones
have
and I mean,
to
geez.
sit and play on it all day.
Well, I got people from Tomo, oh, I watched city council meeting last night. Oh, okay.
I do hear that from the county guys say they're not as entertaining.
Yeah, I'm not as entertaining.
Okay, I'll take a motion to close the hearing. I think we've heard the objections and
Okay, I'll
everything.
give you the motion.
Motion to close the hearing by Smith,
I'll second that.
seconded by Coe. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public hearing's closed. We'll start our regularly scheduled council meeting. Call to order, roll call. Chisman.
Present.
Benge.
President.
Smith.
President.
VanDorin.
Present.
Coe.
Present.
All right, everybody's here. I will take a motion to approve the agenda for this evening.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion by Chisman,
Second.
second by Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I will take a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Coe,
I'll second.
seconded by Benge. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposed. Okay, mayor's report. Well, it's here. Come on. Where is it? Well, it was right here. It's right there with my packet.
I'm gonna cut you some slack, you had a long day.
Yeah, that's been interesting. I think it's right here. There it is. Yep, on the bottom. Sorry, guys. The month of October brought in our first fall cleanup day. Thanks to Jim Devers and the guys at the fire department for allowing us to set the dumpsters up there. It appeared to be a large success as the community filled 2 dumpsters again. Myself and the council look forward to bringing back this back in the spring, as both cleanup days this year were very successful endeavors. Our water system, which we've been monitoring closely due to extremely high usage at the end of last year, had its best month to date, using just over 513,000 gallons for the month, compared to almost 980,000 gallons from January. That was our high water mark for the year, so used about a little less than half as much water. Finding and fixing a couple leaks in town early this year and into the spring were huge in making this happen. Beggars Night in town went extremely well, with a lot of compliments on how well our city worked together to provide a good, safe environment for the kids to trick or treat. Again, a big shout out to the fire department for keeping the streets safe, Fine Cut Lawn Care for passing out donuts at the community building, the school for the trunk or treat, and Ina, Councilman Smith and his wife for passing out hot dogs, candy, and hot chocolate with myself here at City Hall. It was fun to see all the costumes and can't wait to do it again next year. It was fun. Election night was November 6th, and a big thanks to the nice folks that came out and worked for a record number of voters who turned out to have their voice heard. Thanks to the voters of Blakesburg for voting yes on the local option sales tax measure. I can say that now. It will help us at City Hall immensely. We will be discussing the annual financial report this evening. I want to thank our city clerk for getting this done. In past years, been an issue for our city getting paperwork filed and ready to be sent in on time, and Ina goes above and beyond to ensure this gets done for us, which makes everybody's life a lot easier. Lastly, I would like to recognize, well, not quite lastly, but lastly, I would like to recognize our volunteer coordinator, Councilman VanDorin. This past summer, our volunteer committee, Pat Streets, organized a swift cleanup to the city after the nasty storm in August and worked side by side with the county and A&A Tree Service in those cleanup efforts. For all your efforts and going above and beyond the call of duty since taking over the volunteer program, I would like to present you with a certificate of appreciation from myself and the city. Thanks, Jerry, for all you do for us. Come on. Really appreciate it, man, what you've been doing for us. So thank you very much. Yep. And that was the last thing. And then yesterday, being what it was, I'd just like to salute and say thank you to all our veterans, current, past, present, for everything they do for us to be able to be here in Blakesburg and live free. So
Yeah,
thanks to your veterans. All right, and that's what I got from my mayor's report. So we will move on. Do we have any public comment? Public comment closed. Okay, old business. This is where we vote on the resolution 18.11.13.1 water and sewer rate changes. This being a resolution, I will take a motion. And when this motion is made, one way or another, we waive the second and third reading. Okay, one way or another, we need to make a motion to waive the second or third reading. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make it.
Make a motion to accept resolution
18.11.13.1 water and sewer rate changes and waive second and third reading.
Motion by Chisman,
I'll second it.
seconded by Smith. Roll call. Chisman,
Aye.
Benge,
Nay.
Smith,
Aye.
VanDorin,
Nay.
Coe.
Aye.
Is a simple majority carries resolution? Simple majority carries resolution, resolution passes. Okay, next on the list, and this is just up for discussion. We talked about it last month. I worked quite a while on it. Changing the building permit codes to make them easier to understand. And I know, like I said, a lot of this is just up for discussion. If you guys haven't had a chance to look them over an awful lot, I recommend just kind of looking them over before the next meeting. If you guys are okay with it, if not, if there's stuff that needs changed, get a hold of me and we will.
Can I visit about it?
Yeah, yep, let's hear it.
Okay. 7-1-9 application approved. If you go back to what we had prior, and, you know, the last time we codified, you can read through, do I meant to read through it before I go on? Or in the old one, it had there that it was approved by the council. And I think we should stick with that, not to make more work for ourselves. I mean, I'm great with having somebody get out there and do the legwork and everything, but I really think we need to run it through so that it's, council approves it. That way it's in the minutes and it's more open and out in front of the public.
If we can call special meetings without hosing somebody $150, I might be in agreement with that. Because we run into cases, it's happened a few times, say, one comes to mind, and it's nice, I want a porch built. You know, that was back when. I mean, one that couldn't even get a building permit. If your contractor says, okay, I got a job canceled, I can be up here in 2 days, I can get your porch done, they need a permit in 2 days. The way it sits now, am I right on my understanding? It's $150 to get the doggone permit, and then we've got to call a special meeting. So if we want to call a special meeting and it's free, I'm all for it.
Okay, now, I thought a building permit in Blakesburg was $10.
It's $150 if you need
If
an
you have
expedited permit.
If you what?
An
An
expedited
permit.
$150.
And that's why we're kind of talking about this, because a lot of times somebody's contractor can come in and do some work and they need a permit.
But I still feel that it needs to be in our public record, and it just, like this meeting, it just needs to happen out there in the wide open. And
I don't know how the other guys feel about it, and we're a small town. Atumwa does not have, hell, I don't think they ever approved a building permit in the council, do they?
No.
Unless it's
that's
a $2 million runway job or something, they got a building inspector that does it.
When we had all the hubbub about the building inspections there a while back, it was, I called and talked to Mickey to see about this. If cities had a building official, they could go and approve them. And he said a lot of the bigger cities do. Said a lot of smaller cities, not so much. But I just thought it would make things easier. We wouldn't have to, I said that we would never have a reason to have a special meeting to expedite a permit, because we'd have a building official that would go around, sign off on it, approve it, bring it back up here to City Hall, we'd still have record of it. But like I said, that's why I want everybody to kind of read through that, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Bob, because that's.
well, I just think it makes it more open.
But it's gotta be just followed by the code, what we passed.
Yeah.
Because somebody's gotta go look at it before it's approved.
Right,
So
that's-
it just depends on who we appoint, or to go look at it, make sure it's, get a tape out.
Or whether we hire a guy and raise the building fee up, pick a number $20, you know, to pay for him, whatever, but.
Which we did include that in this, I think, because the building fee for the,
Let me throw this out. How about reduce that fee for expediting it?
I don't like the word expedite. I like the, you know, how do I want to say it, where I sound like we sat here and we talked about putting it to somebody on a water bill. I don't want to put it to them on a building permit.
We don't want to discourage building.
Right, and so,
What if the building guy still, every city council meeting still like reviews the permits that have been?
with the
granted?
council, if there's a problem, and if there needs to be, you know, if it's a special deal, yeah, it's gotta run through council. You know, like say it's not meeting the frontage requirements or something, yeah, but I mean something simple, like I'm putting a porch on.
But every 30 days, we'll have a meeting regularly, and surely if you're gonna do something, you can coordinate.
And it probably didn't happen, the hailstorm comes. If I wanna dig in like we went through about a month and a half ago, everybody that had a roof repaired in this house should have been up to City Hall with a $10 fee, 30 days ahead of time, waiting for the roofers to do the job.
But
If
that's,
that is, if we, I don't even know if a roof's required for a building
And
permit, but
it's
but
not.
that'd be an example, say we have something like that. I just think if somebody needs a building permit, they ought to be able to come in, apply for it, and get it within a couple of days.
And that was something that was included in the wording, in the past, we had the word alter was in there a lot, and a lot of
Yeah.
cities have the word alter in there. I feel alter opens yourself up to a whole crazy can of worms. A lot of the stuff that's in this says any permanent, let me see if I can read that again. But
Alteration.
It had to do with a permanent fixture addition, not anything that can be moved, you didn't need a permit for, and I tried to make that as clear as possible. And that's what, not clear as mud like the ordinance is now, because I think the ordinance right now is pretty much,
I have no idea why I said roofing, because most cities don't require that.
and we don't refer roofing, painting,
well,
siding.
just like windows and doors. They're not-
That's-
Anything inside.
The
your
word
house.
alter is the one that just is,
Exterior.
Yeah.
I don't know where you go through it.
Because I think it was Asa there that said if it's got altar in there, if he nailed a picture to his wall, does he need a building permit to hang a picture on his wall?
Fix a stool.
Yeah.
And
The new one says, no structure shall be erected which permanently changes the physical structure of the dwelling, garage, or shed on property. I think that's pretty clear.
Pretty cut and dry, there we go.
Yeah.
And that's what I said, you guys look over this, if there's things that we need to take out, put in, we've got a month or 2 months, I think we said at the last meeting, I would have something ready for you to look at this month. Going forward, we get it put on just like we'll have a public hearing, just like we did for the water, and we'll try to change these ordinances. But did you guys, anybody else see anything out of whack with them when you read through them? Or did it look?
I don't, just like you said, I heard like Kevin said, this ain't gonna be where you start gouging everybody in the town.
Right,
Because
right.
it didn't make money the
Well,
last 10 years.
Ace is right, if we ought to be encouraging one thing, is somebody building.
And we can
And,
take
you know-
that back down to $10, I'm fine with that, I just,
Yeah.
like I said, the expedited fee really bothered me too, the $150, but the reason it was $150 for an expedited fee is because if you had to have a special meeting, that $150
They
paid
feel
your
they had to pay
wages.
for the council meeting.
Pay for the
That's
council
what, that's
meeting.
what it nailed down to.
Yeah,
I guess I can't think of an emergency that 30 days we wouldn't be able to resolve it, but maybe something like that could happen.
Well, sometimes
Well, it
people
could happen
have,
easy, people just do things.
Well, your brother's a contractor, he
Get
did,
rained out or.
yeah, he gets rained out on one job, he'll call up and say, yeah, I can be over there tomorrow,
Yeah.
2 days
Well-
later.
well,
Hey, what if you had an instance that, say, a tree fell in the house? There's a wide open space.
Yeah, it's the same way.
So-
with that.
That's not a building
Okay.
permit situation, is it?
No.
Well, now, hold on. So while you got this wall going,
You're gonna go ahead and.
what
make
if
it
you
bigger.
want to go ahead and add on a
Addition.
nice family room or a master bedroom or what?
that's where,
But you've got your contractor, he's gonna be there that day. How are you going to get a permit?
There
That is
needs
a
to be
30
way
days
to
before.
expedite it without paying
What-
$150.
what I'm
Have a
kinda
meeting,
thinking is-
like, you shouldn't have to have a meeting to pass it.
and that's where this comes in with having a building official that could approve all of it and then not have to pass it for council.
That's where I think I'm
That-
probably.
that's where- that's what
Just
I'm-
have a building official.
Have a building official,
But there's no way
We're
to
supposed to
be.
have one anyway.
we're supposed to have one anyway, and we've never ever appointed one, that's right, so that's
I-
what, something
I
moving
honestly
forward.
like the building official better. I mean, I've had building permits in the past. Guess what? Nobody ever come and looked at anything that anybody was
Well,
doing.
we
Yes, they
usually-
went through the council,
Yeah.
but nobody ever looked at anything.
Well, we don't permit electric, we don't, and I don't want it, I don't nobody get, but like you said, we permit, nobody goes out to check the work after it's done. I mean, most cities say they permit electrical, man, they got the guy in there checking that.
There
It's,
it is.
it's true, the homeowner can do his own
Just
wiring,
like-
but an inspector's gonna come in and look at it.
This building permit is supposed to go to the county. The top is supposed to go to the county. Well, that's so they can come and assess your taxes.
Right.
Well, I've had 4 building permits and I've never seen one. The only time I saw him was 2 years ago when
Yeah,
it
when
come
they
through.
did all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing here.
But
They've got the aerials and stuff, they've got a
Right.
good idea what's going on, I
But
believe.
they never sent anybody out to raise my taxes until, because I have 24-foot room on it, a porch on it. and
So,
there's a
so are
porch.
you saying you wanted to raise your taxes?
No, but that's.
But they should.
They should
Here
have.
in town, don't we?
Because that, his property values would go up if they
Yeah.
didn't do
That they
that.
would have raised the taxes, and the county never come out and assessed it anymore. So I don't think the city sent the applications in like they were supposed to. But that's fine with me, but they gouged me this time when they got me.
And that's what we, in the year, 11 months since we've all been sitting here for the most part, I think we've approved 3, and they were all last month. Now we got 4th one, and
I'm not even sure we should be talking
I'm
about it.
not
for
sure
$10.
this one actually rises to a building permit.
A lot, yeah.
no, and that's what I said, and there was 2 of them last month I didn't think needed a building permit either, but with the ordinance book reading the way it reads currently, $10, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
That's what
I was asked.
And that's what these people, that's why they're asking for
They
it.
asked, and I said, hell, I don't know, but I said for $10, and I solves the problem. I don't want another problem. That way it's approved and nobody's gonna say anything.
So,
Well, see, not everybody's gonna do that if it's like remodeling their house.
If we're just gonna have one of the city council members go and look at this stuff and say, this is,
you're meeting the requirements, sign off on
I
it.
don't think we should be raising.
Just stick with $10. The reason I did that is because I wasn't sure we were gonna want, or the council member was gonna want that responsibility. I was hoping somebody would, and it doesn't matter, and you guys talk amongst yourselves there, that at some point, we'll try to get that appointed in the next meeting or something. But if we were gonna have to hire that out,
Yeah, just.
that was what that was, so we can, when this is brought to public hearing for a change in the ordinance, we'll back that back down to $10, because I'm fine with that, but I thought there was a chance we were gonna have to possibly hire that out if the council member didn't want that responsibility. I'm open for any of you to step up and say, hey, man, I wanna be the building inspector, that'd be great.
Isn't the setbacks the main thing we're gonna be looking at, probably?
I'd say that's where we'd have to set, yeah, anything like that, I'd say that'd have to go in front of council, but, you know, if there's a setback problem or something, what's the word I'm looking for?
Variance?
A variance,
Yeah.
Yeah.
variances have to
There we
go
go.
by
That's
council.
like down in Terry's neighborhood, a couple of years ago, there was a building permit for a building, a shed. And where the side of the street it was all right, but had that been on the other side of the street, there would have been some issues because there was other
Well,
houses.
Right across the road,
there's,
right across the road, this garage that just went up
Oh.
last year.
Because it's in front of the house.
it's just all over town,
So I-
across the line, I mean, you know, you can,
I think where it does read here, and that's something that, like you guys are saying, it should come before the council. 6-9-12 is the building official of the city of Blakesburg may grant a variance to section 698, 699, 6910. What you guys are saying is you would like any variances still
Variance.
to come before the council.
I'd say variance should go through council.
Variances come before the council.
Don't you think that takes the pressure off of the person that's doing the inspection?
Yep.
It gives everybody a chance to talk
Unless you
about it.
hire it done, let them do it. If you hire it done, if you hire that guy.
And that's what we talked about, was we had a guy.
If Marion to do it, I mean, the times I dealt with him back when, he was, I'll say highly professional, I had no problem at all.
And that's what we'd have to change that, instead of us appointing a council member to that, we would hire a certified,
Someone from
If
the
we
town
do
would
that
do it.
though, we're gonna have to raise the price per.
We have to pop it up a little bit.
right, just to cover his cost, his expense.
But if setback's the only thing we're doing, one of us should be able to do that, shouldn't we?
I would hope so, I would think so.
Maybe we can make a diagram of what the ordinance says, you know, from this corner to that so many feet.
Well, that's what, that's most of it said in
You
there.
could have one to take along when you went to look and measure it, and here's what we gotta do, you know, so everybody's clear on what we're doing and why, you know.
But I think what would come up with is better than it was. I do think there still needs to be some amendments and some stuff done, and that's where I'd like you guys' input on that, and let me know what you think, like fixing that one and saying any variances come before the council. I think that's definitely,
See, there's a million things could go wrong if one of us did it, because, okay, say two people want to put up a fence, or one person wants the fence, who's paying for the people to come out and survey the yard? The guy that wants the fence, I guess? The guy that wants to build the building has to pay for the surveyor, because otherwise you can, yeah, I think my lines here measure over 4 feet.
We got into that problem here not too long ago, when was put up that building permit. That's something, let's
If
see
you got
what
4
you
feet
guys,
on your sides,
see what
how do
you,
you know what, you know?
see what you guys think about that, but in our city codes, it says you can build a fence on the property line. To me, it should say that before we issue a permit, you've got proof that you've surveyed that line.
I go in agreement with that.
Yeah.
And just, when Derek, back when he lived in Iowa City, he had a guy, called him up, guy done a super job. First things he said to the boy when he called and wanted that chain link put up, he says, I'll be happy to take your money, but you haven't surveyed it, you won't see me. And
that's,
Because I've got mine all surveyed, but my neighbor across the alley, I catch him trying to move my little stake.
Pour some concrete.
so what I've got to know is you guys would be more open to having an outside person be our building official, or is that what, I mean,
Unless anybody else wants to do it.
I think it'd save problems. Just let a guy that's trained do it.
If we're just doing setbacks, surely we can do that.
But if Marion wants, I'm open to Marion, maybe somebody from Tumble, Marion worked for Tumble when he was
See
coming before.
what he would be looking at for cost.
Yeah.
so like I said, this is not something we said at the last meeting. I'd come up with a plan. We kind of come up with a plan. We can get it before we hammer it in stone. We can amend it a little bit.
Well, if it costs $50 for him to come out there and look at it, that's what you're building.
That's what it'll be.
They'll have to
Yep, just
pay-
pay
they'll
for
have to
it.
pay for it.
Yep.
I guess that's, but then again, though, what's the word professional? I'm assuming, and I'll check, I'm assuming they're licensed. If we're looking like from a legal standpoint, if we hire an independent contractor to come in and be our building inspector, the guys, let's say he's professional.
To me, that's another good reason for all of us to vote on and approve it when you, seriously, that.
But I'd like to have professionals' advice before I vote, because a lot of times we'll come in here and, okay, and, you know, I don't go over there with the ruler.
That's what I mean, in the past, the mayor had always been that building official, and I told you guys, I mean, I can't.
I think it says, doesn't it say one of the council?
Now it does now. I know in the past, though, it had always been the mayor, and there's.
An official's gonna make it expensive. This is a small town, it is a
Right.
resident in a town, well,
Right.
it's not a big town, where you need a professional, but if you have somebody do it out as counsel, I guarantee you, this guy ain't gonna think it's right, so he's gonna.
They call it a conflict of interest or something like that. and
Nobody
it'd be-
will work.
So, I don't think one of us can do it, I personally.
See, that brings another point why the council should approve it. Because you go out and, show them this thing, we gotta be so many feet here, here, and here.
Well, that's what, but
So
so
we-
we give them an ordinance,
Yeah.
give them that ordinance copy with their building permit and say, hey, this is how you're supposed to have it. When you get your building permit, when you submit the building permit, boom, did you follow this guidelines?
So we hire a building official, the building official goes out, he says it's okay, and then it comes before the council at the meeting, and the council approves it? Is that the procedure
I
we're
say-
looking at?
If I'm gonna do it,
Price them, I think we're gonna be, I don't think you'll touch them for, we'd have to sell a building permit for.
Really, you think it'd be that high? They'd charge?
You think somebody's gonna wanna do this?
I mean, we're doing it for cheap.
Yeah.
We'll check it, like I said, we'll look into it, we'll price
You
it.
find a
We'll-
guy's hungry and looking for something to do, he'll do it.
Alright.
Maybe this guy in town, whoever he is,
Yeah.
that used to do so.
Yeah, we gotta know what he would want to do it,
Yeah.
He could be agreeable what he want.
if somebody from out of town comes in, probably the biggest price is just gonna be his drive time, would be my guess, because I don't know,
Nope, that sounds good.
Okay, all right, we'll move on. One last piece of old business that I think everybody every council member that approached me at some point Last month, we tabled discussion on 301 East State Street. Asa and myself talked to the guy that owns the property after the meeting. He is okay for an inspector to come in, so our city inspector, Bond, will be making an appearance down there to let him know his opinion on it. The one he's kind of been doing some repairs. Yeah, yep, the one on the corner. So he's been, we're supposed to have a timeline, we haven't got the timeline, so we just figured it'd be in our best interest. We talked to him, told him we could send the inspector down, and that's what we're gonna do. He should be here. We should know what his recommendation is by the next meeting.
By next council.
By the next council meeting, so second.
Have you got anything back from the lawyer
About the other one, no, we have not, well, yes and no. She is about 100-page file on, what's the word I'm looking for? Title examination. Very thick, very large, she's going through it now. So I started to read through it, and it took a while trying to even find the property that we were discussing, because there was a lot of other titles and stuff included in there. So she is working on it. I have heard back from her, because I told her you guys had shown an interest in that too, and I needed something to bring to you, and that's what she brought to me. So
expectation of December is nil.
it's probably going to be out the window, because she's not got her end done yet, because there is so much to sift through. Was hoping that the December one would be, but that's kind of looking like it's been thrown out the window. So I will keep you guys posted. As I get information, I will pass it along. But that's what I got for now. So moving on to new business. Resolution 18.11.13.2, new business hours. Kind of our fall hours there. Ina's class schedule changing a little bit. I said be here later in the afternoon on 4 days, and then mornings 3 of those days. I look for a motion to approve resolution 18.11.13.2.
I make a motion, we approve resolution 18.11.13.2.
Motion by Smith.
Second.
Seconded by Coe. Roll call. Chisman.
Aye.
Benge.
Aye.
Smith.
Aye.
VanDorin.
Aye.
Coe.
Aye.
Motion passes. Your annual financial report, and I am kind of excited by this, fellas.
I'm not, there's no drama. It's more fun when it goes into May.
Now, the stranger thing, I took some notes, and that must be on the one I left on there, but no, they're right here. As you can see, the 2018 fiscal year budget, the city budgeted for a deficit of $10,572. We came out of the year with a surplus of $4,985. So that was good swing. In the governmental funds, we actually, at the beginning balance of July 1st, 2017, we had a beginning balance of negative $8,216. We come in with an ending balance still in the negative, but $7,000 less than that for the year. So that was a lot of tightening of the belts and a lot of good work by our city clerk, by you guys that sit up here. Greatly appreciated. I've looked through it. I can't really see any reason why we wouldn't approve this for publishing, so we can have it turned into the state by December 1st and meet the deadline for the first time in a while. So greatly appreciated. Ina, thank you. Is this a roll call, or can we just pass this by motion?
Motion.
Okay, I'll just take a motion to approve the annual financial
I'll
report.
make a motion to approve
Motion by Benge,
annual report.
Second.
seconded by Chisman. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. The Methodist Church is putting down some rock on the east side of the building for a parking lot, basically for the food pantry. not digging anything up, nothing permanent, it's rock can be scraped off, therefore, did they really need this? But they, like I said, we advised them to do it just in case, better to have it, not need it, than need it, and not have it.
Somebody would have grown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I'd like to say we should just deny it and tell them to do it.
deny their permit request and give them their $10 back.
That works for me.
I don't know if you have to deny it, just say that.
Let's just say fine and give them their $10 back.
We want them to go ahead
Well,
and do what
they
want
filed for the permit, so we've got to either,
Yeah, we either have to,
we have to take their $10 and approve it, or we've got
Approve
to
or
deny
disapprove
it.
it.
I guess if we disapprove it, we give them their $10 back, we tell them to go ahead and do it because they didn't need the permit. I think that's what he's
Yeah.
saying.
What if you approve it and donate $10 for raw?
Yeah, works for me.
So we're voting this down, so we give them their $10 back?
And tell them to do it.
That's the motion I'm making.
Okay,
Okay.
motion by Cope to deny the building permit.
I will second that.
Vote seconded by Smith, all in favor.
Aye.
And I will tell them that they didn't need a permit, go forward. So thank you guys, I appreciate that, and I'm sure the pantry will as well. So thanks for agreeing with everybody that that was the way that should be handled, so. Good thinking. All right,
We even made Brian smile.
I will take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Cope,
Second.
seconded by Chisman, all in favor.
Aye.
The ayes have it.